All right, like, click, and subscribe, do all that. We got primetime battles, week 17. Los Angeles Chargers taking on Kansas City Chiefs. They ain't playing for nothing right here. Chiefs already got the first round bye. So bottom line is Chargers ended up beating the Chiefs 38-21. No Patrick Mahomes, they rested him, so here you go. Justin Herbert, 22 of 31, 302 yards, 3 TDs. Kalen Bridge, 36 yards in a TD. Mike Williams, 108 yards in a TD. Chad Henne, yes, Chad Henne was in. 23 of 32, 218 yards, 2 TDs. Darwin Thompson, 110 yards total and 2 TDs. And basically in this one, Justin Herbert breaks the rookie record for 31 TDs in a season. But like I said, the Chiefs go 14-2, but they already had the first round bye lock for the AFC, so it's done deal with that. And up next, we got the New Orleans Saints trying to play for a first round bye going against the Carolina Panthers. And basically, the Saints wiped the floor with the Panthers easily, 33-7. Drew Brees, 22 of 32, 201 yards, 3 TDs. Ty Montgomery, 105 yards. Emmanuel Sanders, 63 yards at a TD. Teddy Bridgewater, 13 of 23, 176 yards and 2 picks. Rodney Smith, 40 yards at a TD. Curtis Samuel, 108 yards. Panthers in this game had about 5 turnovers, and that's all needs to be said about that. Now, depending on what happens at the Green Bay game, will determine if the Saints do get a first round bye. And also Seattle too, but we'll see about that. Speaking of Seattle, they up next. Seattle Seahawks taking on San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, it was a close one, but the Seahawks end up beating the 49ers 26-23. Russell Wilson, 20 of 36, 181 yards, 2 TDs. Alex Collins, 29 yards and a TD. I remember him when he was with Baltimore. But anyway, Tyler Boyd, 90 yards and 2 TDs. CJ Beathard, 25 of 37, 273 yards, 1 TD. Jeff Wilson, 76 yards and a TD. Kendrick Bourne, 76 yards. So the thing we know so far is the Saints and the Seahawks are tied at 12-4 apiece. So between them two, the Saints would win. No, the Seahawks, I think, would win the tiebreaker. But like I said, if Green Bay wins, then all that's null and void. And up next, we got teams that ain't really playing for nothing. The Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Denver Broncos. The Raiders end up beating the Broncos 32-31 in a classic battle. Derek Carr, 24-38, 371 yards, 2 TDs, 2 picks. Josh Jacobs, 89 yards and 2 TDs. Darren Waller, 118 yards and a TD. Drew Lock, 25 of 41, 339 yards and 2 TDs. Melvin Gordon III, 93 yards and 1 TD. Jerry Jeudy, 140 yards and a TD. Probably one of his best games of the year. So even though the Raiders had about 4 turnovers, it didn't matter because Denver was not able to capitalize enough on it. And like I said, the Raiders beat the Broncos 32-31. Now up next, we got the Green Bay Packers against the Chicago Bears. If the Green Bay Packers pull it out, then they get a first round bye in the NFC. If the Bears win, then they get the clinch a wild card spot. So let's get to it. Aaron Rodgers, 19 of 24, 240 yards and 4 TDs. He was going crazy. Aaron Jones, 42 yards at a TD. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 87 yards at a TD. Mitch Trubisky, 33 of 42, 252 yards and 1 pick. David Montgomery, 69 yards and a TD. Darnell Mooney, 93 yards. Now, as you can see right here, it's 21-16 in the fourth quarter. You got Arizona Cardinal fans kind of nervous. They're hoping that the Packers can keep this lead because the Arizona Cardinals are the outside looking in. And if the Green Bay beats the Bears, then the Cardinals have a shot. All they have to do is win, and they would take the spot. Bottom line here is the Packers end up pulling it out 35-16. So you know what? That gives the Arizona Cardinals a shot to get to the last spot in the wild card because the Bears will go to 8-8 and the Cardinals are still at 8-7. So let's see if the Cardinals are able to pull this out against the Rams. So here we go. Arizona Cardinals against Los Angeles Rams. The thing is, Los Angeles Rams do not have Jared Goff in this game, but they'll go to the postseason regardless. Arizona Cardinals need this win to take the Chicago Bears spot and get to the postseason. So instead of Jared Goff, we had John Wolford, who was 22 of 38, 231 yards and 1 pick. He had 56 rushing yards, though. Cam Akers, 52 yards. Chris Streveler, because he took the place of Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray got injured early. 11 of 16, 105 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. Kenyon Drake, 36 yards. John Ward, 11 yards and a TD. Yeah. So after a lot of physical abuse and mayhem, the Rams are up 18-7 on the Cardinals. Fourth quarter, Kyler Murray comes back because he was out for pretty much most of the game, but they was like, we need him desperately at this time. So at this point, Mike Nugent's about to make a kick, 37-yard attempt. They needed to get to 8 points, and the kick was blocked. Oh my God, Mike Nugent, what the heck just happened? And because of that, this game was pretty much done. The Rams beat the Cardinals, and the Chicago Bears, even though they lost, they don't have nothing to worry about because they still maintain the last spot in the wild card. Arizona was officially eliminated because they had to win or go home. And bottom line is, they're going back home. Mike Nugent blew it for you, Kyler Murray. What happened to him? And up next, you got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Houston Texans. Tennessee Titans try to hold to the spot of running the AFC South. And obviously, the Colts are hoping they lose so they can control the AFC South or at least get in the playoffs. But let's see how this plays out. Phillip Rivers, 17-20. Oh, damn, Phillip Rivers, I'm geeking. Ryan Tannehill, 18-27, 216 yards, 1 TD. Derrick Henry, 250 yards and 2 TDs, and he broke the record of 2,000 yards in a season. He was going crazy. A.J. Brown, 151 yards and 1 TD. Deshaun Watson, 28-39, 365 yards and 3 TDs and 1 pick. David Johnson, 84 yards and a TD. Brandon Cooks, 166 yards and 2 TDs for his day. All right, now we get into the fourth quarter, 26 seconds left. Tennessee is up on Houston, 38-35. 18 seconds left, Kami Fairbairn for the kick. It's good. The game is tied. Now it's 18 seconds left on the clock. Ryan Tannehill launches it down. What the heck? A.J. Brown catches it. What the heck was Houston's defense doing? And then here we go. 37-yard kick for Slam Slocum. It's up. Oh, and it bounces on some Cody Parkey crap, but it went in. The opposite of what Cody Crossbar Parkey does. They win 41-38. The Titans win 41-38 and a thriller of AFC South beef. And now the Titans run the AFC South. They win the division. Now, Miami fans, I want y'all to take a deep breath, calm down, don't get nervous, relax. I know your lives depend on your fellow brethren, garbage-ass Jacksonville Jaguars 1-14, but keep in mind that one win came against the Colts. So here we go. The hopes and dreams of Miami Dolphin fans and Tua Tagovailoa fans lie within Jacksonville Jaguars going up against Indianapolis Colts, a team that's trying to get into the wild card. All right, y'all. Here we go. Phillip Rivers, 17-27, 164 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. Obviously, you don't like seeing that right there. Jonathan Taylor, he went ridiculous, though. But anyway, speaking of Jonathan Taylor, 253 yards and 2 TDs. T.Y. Hilton, 27 yards and a TD. Mike Glennon, 26-42, 261 yards and 2 TDs. Dio, I cannot pronounce his last name, 50 yards. Laviska Shenault, 68 yards and 2 TDs. All right, Dolphins, y'all still good. Jacksonville is 14-20 in the fourth quarter, 11 minutes. Plenty of time for Jacksonville to do something. Matter of fact, don't calm down because Jonathan Taylor said the hell with your dreams, your hopes, and everything like that. He's going to rush himself in and score touchdown Colts. And they go for the 2-point conversion, which will get them up. 3 minutes, 35 seconds left, 28-14. And Phillip Rivers and the Colts go 11-5, but more importantly, they slide into the third spot of the wild card. So you know what that means. I mean, obviously, Jacksonville's going to get the first round pick. You know they're getting Trevor Lawrence. But more importantly, it means that the Dolphins have been eliminated. I know, Tua, scratch your head. I get it. All right, Giants fans, I need y'all to keep y'all composure. I know it's the NFC goofiness, but anything can happen with their NFC East that we talking about. And yes, Eli, Daniel Jones did his job, but it could be all for nothing. But calm down, relax, it ain't over yet. Because up next, we got the DC squad taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Here we go. So if Washington wins, they're in the playoffs and they knock out the Giants. If Philly wins, the Giants are in the playoffs. And Philly has nothing to play for but to play spoiler. So let's get to it. Alex Smith. Yes, Alex Smith is back. Oh boy. 22-32, 162 yards, 2 TDs, and 2 picks. Antonio Gibson, 75 yards. Terry McLaurin. Yes, he's back in this one too. 40 yards and a TD. Jalen Hurts, 7-20, 106 total yards, 2 rushing TDs, 1 pick. J.J. Whiteside, 40 yards. Boy. Now at this point, it's 17-14 Washington. It's 2 minutes left, but it's still third quarter, but it's 4th and goal. Now common sense would tell me if they couldn't get past it, just kick the ball and go tie it up. Giants fans might assume this play as tanking. And here we go, Jalen Hurts. They go for it on 4th and goal. You're like, what is going on? Why'd they just take the 3 points? What is he doing? Throws it, and nobody to catch it. Washington gets the ball back. Exactly. What the hell was that? But as you can see in the 4th quarter, the DC squad wasn't as stupid because they kicked themselves a field goal at 7 minutes and 39 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Same score, 2 minutes left, 4th and inches. Washington's going to decide to go for it on the 50-yard line. More tanking is about to commence. Here we go. These goofballs jump off sides. First down for the DC squad. You can't make this stuff up. Look at it. Look at this. Ridiculous. But somehow after all that, 43 seconds left, Philly still gets the ball back, but they're back at their own 10-yard line. Jalen Hurts is out. No Carson Wentz. I don't know who this quarterback is. Apparently his name is Sugfeld, and he's been in a practice squad for like 4 years. Anyway, 4th and 4. What's he going to do? He's shaking and baking, and he runs, but obviously they ain't got no timeouts left. 6 seconds left in the game. That's pretty much it. He's going to run around, and he gets stopped. And the DC squad beats the Eagles 20-14. A team with they got a random as design, elementary school Microsoft Paint logo with no name. Just won the NFC East goofiness division, which honestly they could have possibly won last week, but if they didn't have that clown Dwayne Haskins, this wouldn't be taking place for an epic matchup. Alex Smith with the epic comeback story, but you also know what that means? It means that the Giants are officially eliminated for playoffs.